What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yours truly, Kendrick McKnight here, back again with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Episode 7 of the Beneath the Surface podcast with yours truly, Kendrick McKnight here, man, where we are unpacking the unseen, one conversation at a time. And man, obviously, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and um you know you have these ideas in your head of like certain people that you want on the show, and you may not get this person or that person or this person, that person. And for me personally, that gets in your head a little bit, like, oh, maybe people don't really support you as much as they say they do. But I took a gamble on this one. I reached out, and man, he flushed up and came on, and even though he delayed it a little bit, but it's okay. But here today is someone that I had the privilege, the honor of meeting at my former place of employment. um Chatted here and there. Obviously he's you know one of the top dogs, so I couldn't really you know have full conversations. So man, we had the opportunity to hear today to do it. So man, Alton Thompson, how you doing today, man?
I am doing well, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed, highly
That's
favored.
good. That's good. I'm glad to be here. I don't know why it seemed to be that I would be a challenge to get on the show. I'm just honored to have even been invited. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure. What made you think that that was the case, though?
Well, where you said like you didn't think that I would, so willingly respond to be on the show, but I would have said yes immediately, just like I did. So I was humbled and honored that you asked me because you're the world famous Kendrick McKnight. You've been on podcasts and all over YouTube and everything. So I'm just humbled, to be invited. Little old me, you know, I'm just nobody.
I don't know about that, but man, I appreciate you coming on. And are you looking forward to our conversation today?
I am. I really am. I one thing I love is honest conversation because I really truly feel, especially with the title of your series, Beneath the Surface, unpacking the unseen, because a lot of people are defeated in their life because of what remains unseen and unspoken. And I have determined in my own life that that is one place where I will never be defeated is by whatever is unseen or unspoken, because I am all about shining light in the places that are even uncomfortable, and having conversation about them so that you can heal from them. So I'm really honored. This is my niche, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest things for me, where like I've been so like to myself and very like nonchalant with things and not willing to open up to certain people in fear of maybe this person not understanding, or um being looked down upon, you know what I'm saying? Because people have different perceptions.
They
And
do.
so, you know, I just have a big heart. So like once I open up just a tad, like you got me, you know. So I try to just do my own thing and get out the way. But man, from your perspective, like how did we meet, and how did that go for you?
Well, I can. I don't even remember who did the initial interview. Did I do the initial interview? I don't recall.
You did not.
Okay, so I
Well,
did. I do the second interview?
I remember seeing you on my first
Because
interview. I don't.
so I was probably just all over the place. But um, the first I remember is when you were in orientation, and getting ready to be released out into the world. Very quiet, very to yourself. Um, so you were a great worker, great associate. So just had the opportunity during that time frame to see you begin to open up and to make stronger connections. So I appreciate that. Begin to see just everything that was beneath the surface. um, because you were very, like you said, to yourself, very subdued, very, from my perspective, introverted. But I can tell you were a very, very kind, very good-hearted person, very respectful. So I did think that it was a good hire. So that's good hire.
A great hire. What do you mean?
Great, yes, amazingly the best hire ever of all the history of my tenure.
Yeah. And speaking of that, before we, move forward, just recently you celebrated 13 years, right?
13 years with the company 2 days ago.
Wow. How did that make you feel?
Old. But honestly, it made me feel grateful. Um, when I started working with Walmart, I told myself I would be here no more than 2 years because it wasn't in what I had planned for myself. It was not at all a part of my 5 year, 10 year, 20-year plan. It wasn't. It was a stepping stone to what I wanted to do. But 13 years later, I'm still there. I'm happy with what I do, love the job that I have. I'm humbled to have the job that I have because I think in the position that I hold, I have the ability to impact so many people, not just from a professional perspective, but even from a personal perspective. And I've had so many opportunities to allow that platform to be ministry, um, which is what my original intent was to just all the time be in full time ministry, doing what I want to do. And I've still been able to fulfill that through the current role that I have, not just the current role, but just through my tenure. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. So I was glad to see that 13 years because I didn't expect it to come.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those things where we have our own plan or a certain schedule for what we should do in our lives, but in some kind of crazy, weird, or just like godly way, he just shows us like, oh, this is the lane that you need to be in, or this
Yep.
is the path that you need to walk. And so,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
certain things you try to avoid. Like this is not what I saw myself doing, but um, God would. I don't know. He's a way maker, but sometimes it makes you like scratch your head. Like,
It
really?
does. It does. And I often tell people, I remind myself and I try to encourage everyone, other people that, when things don't quite go the way you expected them to, don't be disappointed. Don't be upset because scripture teaches us that, I think it's in Proverbs where it says that a man has a way that he has chosen, but it is the Lord's will that will win out. So we can make all the plans that we want to make, but if the plans that we have are not according to what his actual will is for us, and he may divert our path, and we can feel as if we're off course, but we are exactly where he needs us to be. So I really feel that that is where I have been, even in the times where I have felt displaced or out of sync or even behind the times or not where I want it to be, as people can often say. But I do still know that at the end of the day, I'm still in his will. So
Did you watch episode 6?
I have not watched episode 6 yet. Do I need to go watch it?
Okay, so you're not a fan. So
Now,
what's crazy is that like I was talking about something very very similar to that, where you have our personal plans for our lives versus God's delays, if that makes sense, right?
mhm,
Like we have certain plans for ourselves, like, oh, by this age we should be here, or by this age I should be married, and by this age
yeah,
be having kids, or by this particular pinpoint of my life, I should have this amount of money in my account, and so on and so forth.
yeah,
Um, and God, like I said, has his interesting ways of showing us, like, I understand, but you need to go through a little um, adversity and have certain roadblocks in your way to learn throughout this journey. So whenever you get to that point, like you can truly appreciate it more. As far as like, whereas for me, I've always said sometimes just want to close my eyes, wake up, and I'm in my dream, and I'm in wherever I envision myself to be. Like, and I tell myself, like, would I be in enjoyment? Would I love it when I'm there and I didn't go through things? Or would I enjoy it better when I uh, went through, like I said, adversity and these all these things that I've learned throughout the journey. Now that I'm here, oh, I'm happy that I went through all that because it was worth it.
it makes you appreciate and give to give people, places, and things value due to the journey when otherwise they would not hold any value to you if it was just easily obtained. So there are a lot of things in my life where I know to other people probably don't have any value, but to me they are super valuable because of the adversity and because of the cost that it took just to get here. And here to someone else may feel like it's still a long way to go, but they don't recognize how long it took and the journey that it took just to get to this place. So I'm grateful for where I am today, right now, in this moment.
Yeah, I think it was either in a movie or maybe somewhere on social media where I seen like this example, like you're in a whatever numbers story building. Like what journey means more, getting to your destination, taking the elevator or the stairs? The elevator is quicker, right?
It
But
is,
the stairs, you really worked your way
and
up
you
the stairs.
and you appreciate getting there.
Absolutely, man.
You appreciate and you don't take it for granted um, what it costs to get there. And I think a lot of people take for granted where they are because it was given or it was easily obtained. Um, but when you got to climb stairs versus the elevator or the escalator, you appreciate where you land.
Yeah, definitely. That's just like for me where I could easily just be content where I was because I
Yeah,
had quite a few associates, no pun intended. I wouldn't say friends, like you know, like I said, I stay to myself. But in order to elevate, you have to do what you have to do for yourself, and
true.
not be in a situation where like you're just thinking for other people, like, oh, I don't want to leave this person, or I don't want to leave this person, or be in a situation where you don't want to feel uncomfortable. Like you're good where you are and you're comfortable. But sometimes, in order to grow and honestly be a better person, you have to accept that uncomfortability and get to where another place that God sent you to be. You know,
Yeah, yeah, you do, you do. And I think some a lot of times people don't realize that sometimes when you are loyal to people or to places and things, you are in turn betraying yourself. So sometimes you have to learn how, who, and when to let go and just to move on to achieve what's meant for you. So
Definitely. And how
gotta
that,
be learn to be loyal to yourself.
yeah, absolutely. You have to. You have to make sure the person that you see in the mirror is happy versus anybody else,
Yep,
regardless of what other people may think or say. You gotta do what you gotta do.
you do. I now this is just me. I try to be careful with the word happy because sometimes happiness comes with compromise. Because there have been seasons in my life where I wasn't happy, but I was still where I was supposed to be. Because if I had done what I wanted to do just to be happy, I would have forfeited the destination that I was getting to. Because I
Right.
would have stayed in a place too long just because I was happy. So I like to say joyful.
Joyful. I like that. I can kind of relate. I remember at one point, I I come from like a military family, believe it or not. Um,
I can believe it.
so my grandma served, great aunts and uncles, my grandma's brothers and sisters, and my mom thought about it as well. Like she was like 1 point away from passing. She just never went back to it to do it, and that's something that my mom has always envisioned for myself growing up. And I was just one of those kids throughout high school. Like I didn't really take anything seriously. I was just there to talk, try to be cool, right? Try to fit in, and not really taking my grades seriously. And so, like once I graduated, it was just like a deer in headlights moment. Like, oh, like I don't know what what to do, right? And so, having conversations with my mom, it's like, oh, this is what I want you to do, or just having that idea. Um, and so I was like, yeah, I guess sure. Um, and be a part of the Air Force. And I felt it like maybe like 2 or 3 times, um, and just never went back to do it. And in hindsight, all those years ago, like I thank God every day that I did fail, because yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been great to serve the country, travel all around the world, but I would have been living my mom's dream and not mine. I would have been serving her purpose and not
Hmm.
mine. I would have been miserable in the inside. And so I feel like again, like it's one of those moments where like God puts you on this path instead. But
Yep.
sometimes you have to make that decision for yourself too. Um, like he will lead you to the door, but you have to open it.
That's right.
And so um yeah, I feel like I'm, you know, in my bag a little bit with these podcast episodes, So I'm
Yes, you are, sir.
doing good, I would say.
You are, and I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you.
I appreciate that. Were you like surprised at all when I told you about my channel? Because like you said, I'm very like to myself.
I am. I was not because I didn't think you were capable of doing it, but I just never heard you talk. Very always very small conversation, which is okay. Some people just live on small talk. They don't get too deep. They don't get too involved. They don't get too engaged, and that's fine. I love to talk. I tell all my business. I don't care. So I talk to everyone. I don't tell all my business for real, but but I am so used to just engaging people. So I was a little surprised. Um, but watching the clips of your podcast and some of the shows and appearances that you have done that I've seen, you are a natural. So hey, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, because I
Oh,
want to do a podcast, but I just never Never did it.
This is your chance, opportunity.
Yes, sir. It is. So we never know what I'll do next, and this may inspire me. So,
That's what we're here to do: inspire, motivate.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As long as I'm one of your guests.
Of course, of course. Already on the books. Yes, sir.
Am I number one or like
So first, I'll probably have you producing it because I have no idea what I'm doing.
okay?
So then once we get going, then probably like maybe three or four.
Okay.
Because I got to build up. You don't start with the top. You start, then you build up. So I got to build to have D. Kendrick McKnight on my podcast.
You got to start with a bang, though. That's what I'm saying. Number one.
Gotcha. Okay, so we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah,
Come out the gate swinging.
yeah. So like, I'm just one of those people where I it takes a long time for me to get comfortable, and that's just with any and every job that I've had, or just any group setting of people. Like I have to feel my way around, like who's who does what people are talking about. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I'm just
I have to get a sense of your environment.
yeah. Before I do or say anything, you know, I'm
And
gonna
that's a smart way to move. So I can't even fault you. Very smart, very very smart way to move.
yeah. One of the many things my mom taught me that went into one ear, stayed in. When it comes to people, anyway, is that you don't even have to do or say anything. Like the more you be around someone, they'll show you who they are.
It will.
It's not even about what they say; it's about the way they do.
Yep.
And so I keep that token with me everywhere I go, and especially Walmart. So um,
People will tell on themselves.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. How you? I know we talked about it a little bit earlier. Like, what's your excitement level for what we're going to be talking about? Is it like a 10, 9, 6, 1?
I'll say seven, 7.23.
Why so specific?
I don't know.
Why
Seven is my favorite number, but I didn't want to land squarely on seven, so figured I'd put a little.
is 7 your favorite number?
It's God's number of completion and perfection. Plus, it's
There's no such thing as
the number of the. Say again.
there's no such thing as perfection.
That's perfection in God.
Outside of God,
There, but the Bible does say that a perfect man is one that can bridle his tongue. So that's something that I do strive to be perfect in, is being better at bridling my tongue. So sometimes I speak before I think.
you got to do the opposite.
I know. I'm praying about it. I'm praying about it. But I'm anxious a little because this is new for me. I've never appeared on a podcast before.
Again, this is something I'm inspiring, I'm motivating
And you are.
you out of your comfort zone.
Right. So, correction. I have been on a podcast before, but it was for ministry. Like I was presenting a prepared sermon. So that's something that I had just such a level of comfort with that I didn't really have any anxiety. I had some. You always have anxiety or some level of nervousness or respectful reverence for whenever you have to, deliver a sermon. If you are not just arrogant and all in yourself, but not the anxiety level that I have now. So
Yeah, if you don't have like how I look at it is like if you have passion for something, love for something, um, of course there's gonna be still nerves.
it is. It is.
Just
Because you want to do it right.
right. And I'm someone that see I'm coming across as a hypocrite a little bit because like I'm a perfectionist, and I want to do everything right, and so that's something that I'm working on. Not trying to be.
Perfect. And sometimes it's hard. I used to have a horrible problem where I did not want to learn to do anything new because I wasn't sure if I could do it well. So I limited myself on what I was willing to expose myself to or to try new to, experience because I didn't want to fail at it. Even I'll never forget when I was in college and my best friend, he still laughs about this today. I got so angry because I didn't know how to bowl of all things. Did not know how to bowl. So he was trying to teach me. He and a group of other friends were trying to teach me how to bowl, and I could not make that ball roll down that alley in a straight line to save my life. So they were trying to encourage me, but my pride said that they were picking on me because I had to be perfect at it. I had to be the best possible version of myself at doing everything. So it was a hard time being able to be vulnerable enough to learn, listen to the instruction so that I could get better at it. And I finally learned how to bowl. And now I'm an excellent bowler. So
Excellent.
don't do that. I'm decent. Okay. I'm decent.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
I'm decent.
So the three main things that we're going to be talking about today is healing, growth, and vulnerability. Three like very crucial things for not just men, for just like any and everyone. Because everyone has a soft spot somewhere around us. Um,
True.
and people like myself, like I live my life with a gigantic invisible shield around myself, so you never truly see me vulnerable. Because again, like I'm quiet, I'm to myself, and I just do my own thing and try to. I have that mindset of just doing things on my own, and and not talking about it. Um, so I'm trying to get out of that shell a little bit. Hence the reason, doing my podcast stuff. And so, um, but healing, it's something that's obviously very hard based off of whatever situation that um, happened with you. And so, for you, what is something what is an event or moment that made you realize that you needed to shift your mindset to try to be a better Alton?
Well, I'll answer this way. I don't know if there was a particular event that convinced me that I needed to go on a journey of healing, but there were specific events that triggered the behaviors in me that subsequently made me begin to get sick of my own self and get tired of my own self, get tired of my own behavior until I finally realized you need to be healed because you're mean, you're angry, you are distrustful of other people, you are easily triggered. And when I finally realized that it was not everybody else, it was me. That's when I realized you need to work on you. You need to be healed. So
Yeah, I can definitely relate. So for me, I spoke on it a couple of times um, during episodes. Did you watch? Of course you didn't. So I what caused just my everything that goes on with me. It's like my dad passed away when I was 16,
Mm,
and I was one of those kids that didn't really appreciate anything that was right in front of me. And I just describe it in a way of like a gut punch from God Himself to like wake me up and realize like how real life is. And I also said like whenever he passed, like a piece of me went down with him. And rather than try to focus on the Kendrick that's still here and try to heal, I've been trying to resurrect that other side,
mm,
come back. And obviously I felt that. And also part of me just blamed myself, not because of what happened to my dad, but just like I should have texted him more, called him more, hugged him more, do all these things more. So I was beating myself for a
yeah,
very long time because of that. And any and everything was a trigger for me. Someone saying something out of the way, or um, someone looking at me wrong, or looking at me for too long. Like now, I feel like there's a problem, and so like I was a very triggered kid, um, and just again like to myself, and just like trying to avoid people as much as possible, in
yeah.
fear of feeling that hurt again, trying not
Of
to,
losing someone.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I remember, what was it, like 2022, 2023? Um, the job that I was at before Walmart, um, it was a overnight stocking job. Um, and there was this guy. I don't know what it is about people. People think that I'm just an easy target because I'm quiet and I'm to myself. Um, but like he will always like say little things, very condescending, uh very manipulative, gaslighting. And so most times I'll let it go because like I'm thinking about the bigger picture, right?
Right.
Like I have goals, I have ambition. Like I'm not trying to let it go away based off of like a 5 second bit of anger. Um, and so like I remember one night, like it just kept going and on and on and on. And is you ever been in one of those situations where it's like it's that one person, but like he or she gets into another person's ear, and now that person, now it's two, now it's three, now it's four, and now it's like you feel like everybody's going after you.
Yeah, yeah,
And I had a moment like that, and man, I just lost it, and I just like start throwing stuff, and just like I almost got fired. If I wasn't cool with like the managers and stuff like that, like, I would have gotten fired. Like I was that close from just like
wow.
losing everything. And again, like I'm one of those people where it's like I'm quiet or I go all the way with it. There's no in between. Um,
That
and when
used to be me. That used to be
I
me.
get to a certain point, it's just like
Yeah, yeah.
whoever's in my way, just I'm sorry.
Scorched earth. Every,
Yeah. So
nothing left standing. Yeah, yeah. That and at times I have to catch myself from not going to that same place because I used to be that way and it was horrible. I didn't care whose feelings I hurt. I didn't care who I damaged. Scorched earth. Every one person may have caused it, but everybody else was going down. I was not taking names. I was not. I didn't care. So I definitely understand and can relate to that. Um, but I, for me, I lost my dad when I think I was 23 when he passed away. And for me, his passing because we never got along while he was living. Um, one thing. with that circumstance that did help me to heal with something that happened prior to him dying was that while he was sick in the bed dying, um, I learned in that moment that Alton, you have to learn how to forgive without an apology. Because I said I would never forgive my father for the things that I was angry at him about until he is present of mind and with intention and with clarity and with sincerity comes to me and apologizes for all the things that I feel like he needs to apologize for. But watching him about to die, I came to the realization that's never going to happen. So, are you going to allow someone that is soon to no longer even be on this earth to continue to still keep you caged in your rage and anger after they are resting in peace? So I and he couldn't even talk to me. He couldn't even um, formulate words and be able to communicate. Because by that time he was paralyzed. He could blink and kind of mouth words a little bit, but he couldn't really communicate. And I just had a conversation with him and just forgave him and just let him know how much I loved him and everything. And by the end of that conversation, he mouthed to me, "I'm ready to go home." And I was like, what we always say, well, we're praying that you come home. And he looked at me, and he shook his head, and he said no. He mouthed the words "no, home." And I realized what he was talking about. And I led him in the prayer of salvation and made sure that he was right with the Lord. And maybe the next day or two, he went on to see the Lord. So I often wonder how much more damaged would I be today if I had not made the conscious decision to forgive without an apology. Because a part of the rage that I was experiencing for so long was unresolved issues that I had with my dad. So I had trust issues when it came to men, and I don't have a problem sharing this because I've shared it many times before. My first year, second year of college, my sophomore year, I was sexually assaulted. So that added to my distrust of people and especially of other men. So being able to forgive my dad made me be able to learn how to forgive other people and other events in my life without an apology, because the person that assaulted me, I would never see them again. I'll never get an apology from that person. But I learned to forgive them without that apology. And in turn, I learned how to stop raging out and lashing out at people that didn't deserve it, because I was mad at the people that I could not get an apology from. So I was taking it out on everybody else. So
Is forgiving people easy for you?
it has gotten easier over the years. There there is still growth that I need to make in the area of forgiveness. I'm just going to be honest. Um, I don't know if it's a cop out. I don't know if it's just I don't know. But for me, sometimes what I call forgiveness is making a disconnection from people. I don't hold any grudges. I am not angry about you anymore. I just release you to live your life, and I'll go live mine. And I am okay having no further relationship, having no further connection, having no further friendship, and I'm okay with that. Some people would say that that's not forgiveness. To me, disconnecting from people helps me to forgive and to move beyond what was previously a reminder of whatever it was that you did that hurt me or either angered me. But I still have some ways to go about forgiveness. I do. I'll admit that. I will admit that because I used to have a really bad sense of vengeance. I had to get even. I
Yeah.
had to get even. I could not sleep. I could not have any peace of mind until I got revenge. But I'm better than that now. Praise God.
I I'm kind of in between as far as forgiving. Um, but it's just one of first off is it's the person that did whatever or said whatever. That's like the number one thing. Like if I'm able to forgive or not, and also like what's done. Um, but I'm also big on never forgetting. I can't just like let it go.
That's my problem too. So yeah, I feel you.
And even if I do somewhat forgive you, it's just nothing's gonna go back the same way it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
because, like, say in a relationship or something like that, someone does this, someone cheats, someone uh, does this or that. It's like, yeah, I'm angry, yeah, I'm upset, yeah, I'm like pissed off, anything like that. But I'm not going to forgive you for you. I'm forgiving for me to let that anger go and understand, like, okay, like I get somewhat why you did what you did and you feel like you had to do what you had to do. But well, there's so many other people out here that would appreciate me for me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna forgive you for me and um and just let things be. Um but I also it also crushes me too in a sense of someone that you trusted, someone that you love, someone that you cared about does something foul to you. It's like it ruins, like you said, and also to me, like I have trust issues, and for someone to do something or say something out of the way, it
Hmm.
just puts you even more in the shell of just doing your own thing, and it's
Hmm.
like I'm good.
Yeah. And I tell people, for me, I am huge on forgiveness does not mean access. Just because I have forgiven you does not mean that I have to automatically allow you to have the same access to me that you had before. That's not what that means. It means that I have emotionally healed, released the pain of it to the point where it no longer controls me. I'm no longer triggered by the the memory of whatever it is that you did, but it does not mean that we have to go back to having lunch and going out and kikiing and ha-ha and texting and calling. It does not mean that. It means that I release you to live your life, and I have released you from my heart so that I can now go and live my life and be healed. So that to me, that's a huge part of forgiveness is I'm okay you not being the same friend or the same level of relationship that we had prior. So I'm good. I can let you go. I can let you
So,
go.
so for any situation from any person or any situation, like how can you positively try to cope with something that was pretty much meant to negatively affect you? Is it just the power of prayer, or do you journal? Do you just
I One of my great passions is prayer. One of my huge passions is prayer. Actually, working on a book now about prayer. I teach prayer. I um, lead the prayer ministry at my church. I've always had a passion and a heart for prayer, and I do really believe that it's because of having a consistent life of prayer that I have been able to heal from a lot of the things that I did heal from. Um, but when I knowing when people do things or something that's happened and it was an intent to harm me or to discredit me or to do whatever, I have to remind myself that people only have the power that you give them. People only have the power that you give them. So whatever they intended to do, it's not going to work anyway, and it's only going to inflict the damage against me that I allow it to inflict. Um, so I just take that power back and just let people go. Because now, like you said earlier, you've shown me who you really are. So now I know how to deal with you.
Yeah.
Now I know how to carry things in the future with you. So yeah, and being honest with people to me is very therapeutic. Being brutally honest. I know what you did. I know why you did it, and it's okay. But before we part ways, let me tell you how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And God bless you. All right, have a good one. Go about your way. I don't carry stuff. I release it to you, let you know how I feel. Since you were big and bad and bold enough to do whatever it was that you did, let me tell you how I feel about it, how I feel about you, and we good. You go. As who was it? Jacob and his father-in-law said, "May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. You go your way, I'll go mine."
See, that's where I struggle. Like I just can't let it go.
But you
I,
have
I
to
can't let go of hurt or some type uh
betrayal.
of yeah, betrayal, distrust. Now I'm using it as motivation to like be a better Kendrick, to be a bigger Kendrick in a sense of like I have this thing and I have this saying that I say to myself, like, and I try not to come across like arrogant or cocky when I say this,
You,
but
of course not.
yeah, like I'm gonna be good with or without you. Like I'm gonna chase my dream. I'm gonna continue to go after my goals and do this and do that and travel
Absolutely.
travel to this place and get that job or get this amount of money. Like I'm gonna do all of these things with or without you. Like I would like for you to be a part of this journey, but I'm not gonna hold your hand. Um, I'm not perfect. I'm not, um, you know, the best person to be around 24/7. But at the same time, like I'm a good dude. I'm a good person. Um, do I have flaws? Absolutely. But at the same time, um, I don't think it's like a reason for someone to just dip out. Um, you know, and be like this, like have a conversation, kind of like we were saying, like I'm big on like, please put me in my place, let me know what's going on, like that I did or said, but don't hold on to it. And then something else happened, and you're revisiting something that happened like 3 months ago, and like we could have
True.
easily handled
True.
it back then, and you're cramming all of these um negative emotions out at me, and just like where does this energy coming from
True.
when we could have
Just had communication and squashed all of it. Because sometimes people do hurt you, and it was never their intent. And because of unresolved pain that we previously have, we automatically assign guilt on that person or intent on that person. You meant to do it. You knew exactly what you were doing, and sometimes they just don't. That's why I'm, like you said, I'm huge on let's communicate, let's talk it out. I have on my wall, excuse me, I have on my wall a little sign, and it says, "Communication is the elimination of frustration." Because a lot of times you will be a lot less frustrated if you just communicate.
yeah.
Because if I'm walking around mad at Kendrick because Kendrick was walking through the store and he didn't speak to me, so now I have this alt against Kendrick. He was being disrespectful. He was mean. He think he's such and such, and he's so high and mighty now. He got his little podcast. He can't speak to me. But I didn't take the time to make sure. Hey, you didn't speak. You walked by. Are you good? Are you okay? You could have been having a bad day. You could have been dealing with your own trauma. So now I'm harboring unforgiveness for an action that wasn't even meant towards me. So that's something else that I had to learn how not to do, to get to the root of something, because sometimes we are angry about stuff that didn't have anything to do with us. So,
Absolutely.
but I one thing that motivates me to not hold grudges anymore is I've learned in life that you travel faster when you have less baggage. The more hurt, the more pain, the more unforgiveness that you carry with you, the slower you are able to move forward, because you're too weighted down to to be able to meet the trajectory that's required to get to where you're trying to go. So the less baggage you have, the higher you can fly. So I need you to work on letting some stuff go, sir.
I'm working on it.
So all right.
I'm working on it. No, it's just actually that very, very recent, maybe like Wednesday, Thursday. Um, like a best friend for a very long time. Her and I just had like I guess you can say a falling out. Um,
A
where
disagreement.
disagreement, falling out, whatever.
Okay.
Just know I'm not communicating with. Uh,
Okay.
where kind of like where I was saying, like holding on to things that I may done or said, and not having a conversation about it, like how she felt about how I was doing and saying these things, and
Right.
cramming all that up with something like recent and like throw it out all on me. It's like where does this energy coming from? Like
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? And I personally don't like to be attacked, and you're saying little things and going back to me not being able to be vulnerable with people. um there's a S word that I just absolutely just hate being called, especially as a man. Like you hate being called like sensitive, uh,
Mm,
because society says us men has to be strong. We have to be like these manly forces. Like you don't cry, you don't do these feminine things, but like we have feelings too. We have
yes.
emotions,
and
and
yeah,
we
and
feel
that's
like
the problem in society.
yeah, like if we can't confide in our best friends or a partner without being called these things, then who do we go to? What
True.
can we do?
True. Sensitive has been turned into an insult versus what it actually is, which is just notating that someone is emotionally aware. It's not that I'm being sensitive, it's that I'm aware that what you have said has hurt me, has bothered me. Is it going to control me? No, but I have the right to be hurt, to be angry about something. Um, but you are absolutely correct. I was just having this conversation not too long ago about how society says that women's emotions matter more than the emotions of men. Happy wife,
True.
happy life. It's there's so many other things, where you got to treat a woman right, and whatever she desires, treat her like a queen. And I'm not saying that that's not true, but sometimes while that's why I'm staying single. Sometimes while um, men are doing that and taking care of everybody, taking care of their girlfriends or their wives, taking care of their kids, it's almost it's been programmed in us to hide our emotions, push our emotions down, push our needs down to make sure that we are accommodating the needs of everyone else, and your fulfillment should be tied to doing everything that everybody else needs you to. That's what makes you a man. When you can do everything for everybody else, but don't have any emotions, don't feel, don't cry, don't admit that you're hurt. There's a song by it's a gospel artist named Chandler Moore, and it's called "It's Okay." And the words just simply says, "It's okay to not be okay." And a lot of people, period, but especially men, need to be able to have that safe, like you said, that safe place to be able to say, "I'm not okay. I'm not okay." And a lot of times when men are angry, or when men are exhibiting this excessive bravado, it's the result of them being hurt. But the only way that they are trained to express it is by being super, super toxically masculine, or very, very angry, or aggressive. And that's just a display of outlet of how hurt they really are in the inside. I think that's my 2 cents.
Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, absolutely. It's something that truly, it definitely bothered me, um, and it bothered me to a point where it's like I don't even have the energy to go back and forth. Uh, so I read it and I just kept it moving. Um, do I have plans on messaging her back? Not really, because originally she wanted space because of whatever reason, and because again, no communication, right? I'm trying
Right.
to figure out, like, we've been consistent for X amount of years, so like I'm trying to understand like what's going on, and being upfront, being honest, communicating how I felt about it, and now again throwing everything at me. I'm just like, okay, um, okay, you want space? I'm gonna give you even more. So it is what it is, man.
It
Sometimes
is.
you gotta do what you gotta do for you.
Sometimes you do. You have to protect your own heart, protect your own peace, as we say, protect your peace. It's very important.
Absolutely, it's part of growth, right?
Mhm. And it's a part of healing.
Yeah, see how that
Part of
goes
healing.
hand in
It
hand.
does. It does.
See
I've
how
learned when it comes to healing, stop giving people the same knife to cut you with. Sometimes you got to just snatch the knife and stop giving them the opportunity to hurt you.
absolutely. And you said something about it earlier about the word failure, right? Do you consider not being able to achieve something a failure, or is it like a learning um, situation for you?
To me, it depends on why I failed. Did I
Okay.
fail because I didn't plan? Did I fail because everything wasn't in line where it needed to be? Did it fail because I didn't have enough resources or the right resources? Or did I fail because I didn't try? I do think that every level of failure can be the opportunity to learn and be stronger and be better. Every success at some point in time was a failure until you learn the formula that works, and then you were able to achieve what it was that you tried to achieve. But if you failed once and then you never tried again, to me that's failure. But if I didn't make it the first time, if I didn't make it the second time, if I didn't achieve it the third or the 100th time, then I'm going to keep trying until find the right formula, find the right ingredients to do what I need to do. But if I just stop trying, then I failed.
Right. So, which, because I have two different answers. Are you asking my head or are you asking my heart this question?
Are you asking my head or my heart? I am answering from, I guess, my head, from sensibility, from
Okay.
you know a place of wisdom. Now, if we do put our hearts in it, then Yeah, in the moment, not achieving something can feel like failure, like it's the end of the world. But
Yeah, my head's answer is like absolutely everything's a failure. Your goal is to succeed. Your goal is to complete this, and if you don't do it, yeah, you failed. Go back to the lab, figure out how to get back at it. But my heart is feeling like everything's a lesson. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe you didn't get this for a reason. Again, God is interesting. He allows you to fail to learn. Like, okay, it's not going to be given to me. It's not going to be something that's just going to be easy. So you have to figure out um, another route to get to where you need to be. I use this example again in another video that you probably didn't watch. Um, so it's kind of like when you're driving and traveling, right? You go into your phone, you look at the maps, and you look up whatever destination that you're going.
mhm,
And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be at least 3 or 4 routes.
right.
And typically for us humans, we're going to choose the one that's quicker because
Hmm.
we don't want to be on the road for forever. But sometimes taking the longer route is honestly better in a sense of not driving, but like in a sense of life,
Hmm.
going through certain roadblocks, certain adversities to again learn how to approach certain situations and being better people, being a better Alton, being a better Kendrick. So like once we get to that point, it's like man, like we did that, and so um, that's my heart's answer. But I can go all the way in on my head's answer and be so negative, but um, like I'm real big on like again that p word, right? Perfection and wanting to be just great at everything, knowing that I can't. Um, and so that's like my one of my biggest flaws. Like I'm a perfectionist and um, just want to be good at everything. So
You have to learn how to forgive yourself when you fail.
that is something that I'm doing my best with.
Yeah, that's still something that at times I still, even for myself, struggle with, is forgiving myself for failing. Um, Not even just in failing to achieve something, but even failing to live up to a personal standard that I have for myself. If I allow someone to get me out of character, if I allow someone or something to cause me to behave in a manner that is beneath the standard that I have set for myself, to me, that's failure. But I have to learn to forgive myself from that moment and learn the lesson and do better the next time. Yeah, failure can be such a multifaceted experience. Um, Depends on, I guess, your perspective on what you call failure.
Yeah, most definitely. And just adding to that, my mindset within everything that I do, like my head says, like I'm the best at it. Like I have to be number one. Um, like prime example at work, like I'm the best here. Like nobody can touch me. That's just how I approach things, and I do my best to prove that within my action rather than talking and my work ethic. Just like you were saying earlier, like you said it out of your mouth, right? Like I'm one of the best. Great,
Yes, absolutely.
absolutely. So like I again, that's just I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Um, and so I had to throw that in there a little bit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We are truth tellers here. So yeah, tell the truth. You go ahead and tell the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
So what would you
absolutely.
say is the biggest lesson that you felt like you learned so far through adversity? about yourself?
That oftentimes in times of adversity, the people that I feel are the adversary really aren't. I was my own worst enemy. So I've had to learn how to recognize when I'm the problem because other people may factor into whatever the circumstance may be. But ultimately, the only person that can stop me is me. So when I meet a season of adversity, it's my decision whether I stop where I am or whether I push through and just keep going. So I think that's my greatest lesson is to recognize when I'm the enemy and get myself out of the way.
My answer is something that you said there. Just the ability to keep going. Um, it's so easy to just give up and just move on and feel like maybe this path God is leading me on, maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe I need to go backwards and go to another door and see what that's like. Um, or use an excuse where like, oh, I wasn't able to do this, I wasn't able to do that to find an exit and try to do something different as like my cop out. But just having the will and having the strong mindset to be like, okay, like I fell down. I need to do my best to pick myself up and dust myself off, learn from this moment, use it, and continue to um, climb this mountain, very,
Yeah,
very tall mountain that's never ending, but at the same time,
it's worth it.
is worth it.
It's
Um, so that's, I would say that's something that I've learned the ability to keep going when there's so much negativity that's surrounding you. How can I find that positive?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to say this too in response to you being the best.
Are you going back to that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just giving my perspective for me. I used to think I had to be the best at everything,
Mhm.
but now instead of competing with other people, I use other people as teachers and as lessons. Sometimes what to do, sometimes what not to do, but not for the purpose of being better than them, but for the purpose of using what I learned from them to be better than myself. Because the only person that I ever need to compete against is me, so that tomorrow I'm better than I am today, and then the next day I'm better than I was tomorrow.
See, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
But you're on your way. You're on your way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. How old are you again?
I am 45.
You don't look it.
I appreciate that. I'm almost 50 years old. I
Yeah.
had to sit with that a few days ago. I was like, I'm almost 50. But I will say this I am living the best years of my absolute life. I am.
You are. Then you just come from vacation?
Yes. And I have another one planned for January and another one planned for March. Okay.
It's amazing. Where you going?
I'm going to Myrtle Beach just for a few days in January, and then I'm flying back down to Miami in March.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't plan to let any grass grow under my feet. That's honestly the conscious decision to live life was my response to adversity. When I was first diagnosed with cancer, I've beaten cancer 9 times. when I was first diagnosed with cancer, through other health scares and issues, dealing with arthritis, I've had a heart attack. I've had COVID twice. I spent 4.5 days in a COVID ICU, um, and just a whole plethora of other things. I determined in myself that these were not excuses to die, but they were reasons to fight to live. So, because before I encountered all of that stuff, I wasn't big on taking trips or taking vacations or having any me time or being intentional about self care. But when they say cancer, it changes your entire perspective. When I first found out that I was sick, the first thing I did was I planned my 30th birthday party. I didn't wallow and cry and say, woe is me, life is over. I planned a huge 30th birthday party for myself. That's what I did. And I have been living life ever since.
That's
So,
amazing, man.
that's, again, also my response to adversity. Make the best out of it and live life unapologetically.
Absolutely. That was great on you too, man. Because like you said, like you could have easily like looked at the negatives of it.
Hmm.
And so rather than do that, you just said like, okay, let me just do something for me in celebration of the fact that like yeah, like I'm still here and we're gonna keep doing this thing until God feels like it's time.
Yep.
So
And
that's
he gave me no indication that it was the end. So, therefore, for me, accepting that any of those things were the end was not an option because that's not what I believed he was placing in my heart. So,
yeah,
yeah, I kept seeing more. I keep believing that there's more. So, I'm going to keep living until I see the more. Yeah.
I love that. But like going back to like traveling, what are I'll say three, or maybe matter of fact five places that you have not been to, and that's on your list to eventually experience.
Hmm. Jamaica.
Okay.
I'm still praying for them because they still have so much devastation after Melissa. But Jamaica. Um, I want to go to Hawaii. I would love to go to Dubai, the UK,
Hmm.
probably. Um, Number five. Hmm, maybe Bali.
Solid choices.
Say again.
Those are solid choices.
Okay.
I love that. Um, I've always wanted to go to London for
Yes.
for the longest time. London.
Go ahead and book it
Um,
so we can go. Go ahead and book it.
excuse me.
Go ahead and book the flight so we can go ahead and go because I want to go to London too. So go ahead and plan it. Go ahead and
When
well, I control my vacation time, so so that's on
I'm
you.
not in a position to do that like you. So,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
and I literally just started my job too. I don't have the luxury of vacation time right
Gotcha.
now.
We'll
So,
figure it out. But go ahead. I'm sorry. London and where else you said you want to go to?
London, Italy, um, Paris,
Yes.
um, Australia.
Too many big animals. I can't do it.
That's the point.
Mm-mm.
No,
Whenever they have spiders that are as big as humans, I am not going.
I'm not talking about the like spiders. I'm talking like
Mm-mm.
kangaroos and
No, mm-mm. Nope. I'll
yeah.
go to the like Sydney, the Opera House, all those places in Australia. I'll go there, but to go out and to no, I can't do it.
You have a spider phobia or something?
I have severe arachnophobia. I'm talking about I can't even watch the movie. I've still never seen the movie Arachnophobia all the way through. I've never seen it. Yeah,
Is it the same way with snakes too?
I can take a snake better than I can take a spider.
What?
Yep, I don't know what it is. Mm, yeah, I can't do it. Nope,
I'm like the opposite.
no. I can take a snake better than I can take a spider.
Uh,
Yeah. But so, London, I got you. Australia, I'll see you when you get back.
okay, cool. That was what, four? Fifth. Bahamas. Bahamas.
The Bahamas are beautiful. I've been to Nassau, Freeport, um, and Bimini. All absolutely beautiful.
But
Absolutely.
what's a place that you've been to that just the idea of it, like you would go immediately to go back? Like that's how much fun you had.
The Bahamas.
Okay, that was easy, huh?
Yeah, like I think my favorite was Freeport.
Okay.
My favorite was Freeport. Um, Absolutely beautiful. The people were amazing. The scenery, the beaches were beautiful, and just the local culture and everything. I would definitely go back to Freeport. Any place in the Bahamas, but Freeport was probably my number one. Yeah,
I'll say New York.
I would love to go to New York. I would.
But
Um, there's so much in New York. I would want. I would feel safer with someone that is familiar with New York because it's so fast moving, so fast paced.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been to New York once. One thing I would never ever do is drive in New York ever again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
I'll just walk. I'm good. I'll take a subway.
or Uber. Can't do it. Yeah, but New York is an absolutely beautiful city. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Today is November 14th, and next month, December 14th, will be officially a year since I've been. So I think I told you that, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I had a what the listeners don't know, right? So I had a former partner that told me about this bus service that does like um, seasonal um, rides from Virginia to New York for you can spend I think like 12 hours in New York and do whatever. Um, and in the beginning stages of us talking, I told her like I've always wanted to go to New York and experience this, experience that. So she remembered that during our talking stage, and she told me about this whole bus service and everything. And initially, I was gonna go by myself, but I was like, the more we kept talking and officially, became a thing, like, oh, just come with me. Obviously, it was your idea, so like, let's, um, make that a thing for us. Um, Overall, it was a great experience. Of course, you know, we had our moments, but um, for me to go back, I would want to go by myself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Absolutely. Now that I have a feel of what it's like,
Gotcha.
especially that time of the year, very cold. I don't know. It's up north cold is different than down south,
Mm-hmm.
but I would definitely go back to New York than any other place that I have been.
I'll put New York on my list.
See, I'm motivating you again.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. But I've got to go international first, though. I wanted to do some more international traveling first. There are still a lot of places domestically I want to go to visit. I haven't been to LA in years. I would love to go back to LA. Um, I haven't been to Vegas in a while. I want to go back to Vegas. So
You been to Dallas?
I have not. I've always wanted to go to Texas, Houston, DFW, Austin. I've always wanted to go to Texas, but I have not been. So that's on my list too. That's on my list. I'll get there.
Dallas is amazing, man.
So I heard that there's amazing. I'm fluffy, so I love food. So I always hear how amazing the food is
Yeah,
in Texas. So
absolutely. It's
and my absolute favorite city to visit is Atlanta. So
really.
I love Atlanta.
I haven't been to Atlanta since I was little. That was only because I got family in Atlanta, and this was during a time where like it was just me and my mom because I was the only child for like 9 years before my little brothers came, and obviously when you just have one child, like you can move better, financially. You know what I'm saying? So like we always went down there, to see family and all that. But when you're a kid and you can't move the way you want, and now you're forced to see certain things, um, like kind of mess with your brain a little bit. Um, and so like that's one of the main reasons why, as an adult, why I don't drink or smoke because seeing people that I care about in those state of minds, drunk or high or any of these things, it traumatized me to a point where like I grew up to like I don't want that for myself.
Yeah, I
Um,
understand that.
and so because of that reason, I told myself from an early age I'll never go back to Atlanta, and I haven't been back since.
Go back.
Um, Not because of the city, it's just
Right.
what I
And I understand. I understand it. Sometimes a place can even be triggering.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But once you heal from that trauma, go back to Atlanta.
I'll think about it.
And sometimes healing starts with facing it head on.
Kill me.
Sometimes healing begins with addressing the trigger head on.
Yeah,
Again, that's just my 2 cents. So
I appreciate it. That's what we're doing beneath the surface here.
yes, sir.
Um, so like in your opinion, as far as vulnerability, right, is very important for any and everyone. What is it? What does that word mean to you and its purpose?
I'll go then and now. Then years ago, I had a problem allowing myself to be vulnerable because what stuck with me was that in certain moments of vulnerability, I was more easily manipulated into situations and circumstances that proved to be unhealthy for me. So I began to not allow anyone to ever see me weak, because vulnerability then became synonymous with being weak, with being easily controlled, with being able to be manipulated. So I gained this sense of pride where I'll never let anyone know if I'm in trouble. I'll never let anyone know if I'm hurting. I'll never let anyone know if I am not okay. Now, understanding that sometimes you can't heal until you become vulnerable, I have a different perspective, because you have to the main lesson I learned was You have to be vulnerable around the right people because you can't be vulnerable around everybody. It's like if sometimes one of the treatments for certain health issues is immune therapy, where they sometimes weaken your immune system to introduce something into your body, then allow you to be able to then rebuild your immune system. But it has to be done in a controlled environment. You can't allow yourself to be that vulnerable and then be exposed to everything and anything out here in the atmosphere. You have to really see your emotions and your heart that same way. When I'm lowering my guard, when I'm taking the mask off, I can't do it in any type of I have to do it in a sterilized, a safe environment. Um, Even now, I still have trouble being vulnerable, but I've learned who I can be vulnerable around, so it can be easier now to have those moments of vulnerability and not feel like I'm weak and not feel like I'm going to be controlled.
Yeah, I will be completely honest. Like it's something that I struggle with a lot. It's something that I am honestly not only intimidated but also scared to do with people. Again, trust issues, having the fear of this person not understanding, like me, not understanding what I go through or and what I've experienced, like someone nitpicking my flaws or bringing it up in a heat of moment and just throwing it at in my face.
Mm,
Um, so because of these things, it just again puts me even more and more in my shell. Um, so vulnerability is something that is very sacred, like you said, around the right people and right
yeah,
person. And and then you have moments where like you want to be vulnerable with someone and they're not really feeling the same way, or have those same feelings as you, in a sense of like you want to be vulnerable and want to use this person or have this person in your safe space, but um, they just don't have the same feelings as you. And again, another moment where you go deeper and deeper in your shell. So um,
yeah.
I'm all over the place. So it's like I want to, but at the same time, I don't know. Not because I don't want to feel. Um, it's like I just have that fear of again, like
Being damaged while you're vulnerable, and it can be hard to find those safe space people. It can be hard, um, but once you find them, most of the time, you have them for life, and you have to value those people. Um, but it can be hard to get there, but you never will get there until you are willing to be vulnerable even around the wrong people. Because if you're never vulnerable, then you'll never find the people that you can be vulnerable around. So that's kind of a catch 22.
I see your point. I see what you're throwing down. Uh,
Another thing about vulnerability, though, um, that I think a lot of people don't really um, are not really cognizant of is Sometimes we have to be careful about the people that are vulnerable around us. Are they being sincerely vulnerable because you are their safe space, or are they being vulnerable to try to get you to lower your guard so that you'll be vulnerable so that they can then use your vulnerability against you? Or are they being vulnerable so that they can then manipulate you with their vulnerability? That's something that I had to learn how to get over, to trust people when they were vulnerable, because for a long time, my thought process was, why are you being vulnerable? Why are you showing me weakness? What are you up to? What are you trying to trick me into? What are you trying to manipulate me into? What are you trying to get? What's the scam?
Yeah. What's the T?
Especially when you know I'm kind hearted, when you know I go to bat for people. Are you being vulnerable with me because you know I'll be your savior? So it can kind of go both ways. But you have to learn. I want that's your homework after the podcast is to be in
Oh,
prayer. Homework. Yep. I'm older,
I had
so
homework in like 5 years.
well, you back in class now. You're back in class. But to be in prayer about the safe spaces, the people that are safe spaces that God has put in your life, and you'll find it. You'll find it.
We'll see.
You will, and sometimes they're the most the least expected.
We'll see. We just gotta pray on it.
You do, but I would say this: therapy is a great place to be vulnerable.
I've been to therapy.
I promote therapy. I promote mental health. It is not a stigma. It is not mean that you are crazy or insane. Therapy is just like taking heart medication when you have high blood pressure. It is preventative, it is self care, it is maintenance for your mind. So, therapy is a great place to be vulnerable. That's where you can start to learn how to be vulnerable, and then learning how to identify the people that is safe to be vulnerable with.
How do you treat yourself?
How do I treat myself?
Yeah.
Very well, very well. And I had to learn to do that. I had to learn to know what loving myself really looked like. Um, and it was more, and I learned that it was more than going to get massages or going to the spa or going on vacation. That it's almost like when you're dating someone and you bring them flowers or you bring them little gifts just because you're trying to keep them interested in the relationship, but your heart's not really in it. That's how I was with myself. I was going through the motions and the actions, but at the end of the day, I really didn't love myself because on an emotional level, I still didn't do the things that were best for me. I still put other people before me. I still allowed myself to be used and manipulated. I still did not value who I really was and understand how valuable I am and how much I need to protect myself from not just other people, but to learn how to protect myself from me. Because, like I said earlier, sometimes you are your own worst enemy. So once I learned what loving myself really looked like, that's when I started to learn how to treat myself well. So I love me. I don't always like myself every day, but I love myself every day.
Yeah, as you should. Um, I am definitely someone that goes to bat for people that I love. Of course, like my mom, my brothers, my sister, my grandma, even, and so I do my best to always look out for them. And something that I struggle with a lot growing up is making sure the person I see in the mirror is good. And so through therapy, I've learned to treat myself a bit more. My ways of doing that is journaling, um, and just writing down my thoughts, or honestly using my platform to say whatever is going on in my head, or with something that's bothering me, whether I
Gotcha.
have a guest or not. Um, so those are my two biggest ones that I recently am practicing.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. Very good.
But of course, I have other ways to treat myself. Of course, like uh, like you said, going out shopping for myself, doing something for myself, taking myself out to eat solo dinners.
I am the best date I have ever had. I am the best date I have ever had. Not only am I entertaining, but I'm cheap. You don't have to. I don't have to spend a whole lot on myself to make myself happy. So
Yeah,
I am with you on that. Yeah, I love to take myself out to the movies or out to dinner, or go bowling by myself or go shopping. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right
here's
there.
a little unknown fact about me. I love going to the movies myself, and I ever since 20, I think late 2023, I've been collecting movie tickets. It's just
Of
something
all
that
of all the movies that you've gone to see.
yeah, and I have like this little thing in my car where put all of them at, and it's full, buddy. Because
Well,
like
that's
I go to
good.
movies a lot, so
That's good. That's good. That's good.
yeah, I can. I think I have a picture of it somewhere in my phone, but it's just something I do. Movies, gym, shopping, dinner, stuff like that. I like to treat
All
myself.
good things. That's good. One one thing that I'm still working on being more consistent at, as far as taking care of myself, is the word no. Learning to tell people no.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a master at it, but I'm getting there. Just telling people no. So that's a part of my self care journey, is telling people no.
is that for people in your circle or just people in general?
People in general, because there were a lot of years where I burnt myself out trying to do for everybody else, and then not for everybody, because I do have people that will go to bat for me. I have people that will move heaven, earth, hell, everything for me.
Yeah,
But one of the things that I was horrible about was taking care of people that were not willing to take care of me. So I was investing in people that didn't have the same intention towards me. So no has been my friend. And no without an explanation.
mm,
Can you do no? Well, why? Because I said no. Are you coming to no? No. Well, why? Because I'm not coming. No. And that's it. I don't have to explain my protecting my peace to anybody.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's how I treat myself.
yeah. I'm getting there as well. Getting there.
Yeah.
That's only more so towards the people in my circle. Like I said, mom, brothers, so on and so forth. People outside of it, oh yeah, you know, no,
No is very easy.
very easy.
It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me because one thing that I had to learn to admit about myself was that I was trying to purchase love from people, whether through doing things for people, for acts of kindness, through serving people, through showing up for people. I was doing it because I just wanted to be loved so much. So I had to learn that everybody did not deserve access to me.
So it's safe to say that at one point in life you were a people pleaser.
Of course. Oh my God. I had a horrible savior complex. I would feel bad if I could not help someone, if I could not save someone. I would blame myself if they failed or if they were in a bad situation and I couldn't bring them out, whether it was their fault that they were there or not. So I really had to get over that. Really had to get over that. And that was hard. That was really hard for me. I'm not going to lie. That was so hard for me to um, come to the realization that sometimes I've got to save myself. So that's what I've been doing, saving myself.
Yeah, I am a, I guess you could say, recovering people pleaser. Um, it was one of those things where I remember my dad sitting me down and said like, make sure make sure your family's okay, make sure your family is good. And when he passed, like I took that literally. So like I just put everybody on my back and just like make sure I do this for this person, take this person here, take this person there. This person asked for money. Cool, here, there you go.
Hmm.
Even if it puts me in a hole,
Hmm.
doing something good for someone that I love.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I'm learning now that it's important to um, say no here and there,
Hmm.
not out of like I don't love you or I don't care about your situation. It just you got to make sure you're good. Um, so I'm getting there, man.
We're all on that journey.
So you're motivating me now. See how that works?
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
My last question is: what is the, I guess, biggest reward um, of being vulnerable with someone, in your opinion?
The biggest reward of being vulnerable.
Yeah, or like the biggest like risk that you can say that you've taken, and it was rewarding after the fact of being vulnerable.
I guess the biggest risk I've ever encountered being vulnerable was risk of being rejected. But the greatest reward overall of allowing myself to be vulnerable is learning that in the end, I am enough. It's good to have people that are there to support me, to pray for me, to push me, to help me, to support me. But at the end of the day, if I cannot find anyone else, I can be weak in my private moments and allow myself to look inwardly, to search myself, to be in prayer, and to find the areas where I need to be healed, work on that healing, and be better after that process is over. And learning that I am enough.
Again, I was speaking about that in my last video that you did not watch. Like you are enough. Like you are perfectly fine where you are. Um, Even though the journey has been tough, it's been rough, but you are enough. Putting in the time, the effort, the
Mhm.
drive, the effort, the uh, just the amount of time that you put into yourself. Even though you weren't able to get this, you weren't able to get that. That doesn't determine who you are as a person. Um,
Absolutely.
your comeback is what um, determines who you are. Are you going to like later and accept mediocrity or this failure, right? This roadblock, or you're just going to, you know, get up, dust yourself off, learn from it, and keep going, right?
And be better.
And be better.
And be
Uh,
better.
biggest risk. Um, I would say this. I've once upon a time told myself if I ever bring someone home and meet my family, like this is it. This is going to be the person that I marry, have kids with, and happy ever after. And I had that experience um, like 4 years ago, and I would say that was the biggest risk because I was highly uncomfortable. Not because I was scared or um, in fear of them not connecting. It was just, first of all, I was uncomfortable because like this is the first person I have around my family, my around my people.
Right.
But I was, uh, it was a risk for me because again, chasing that P word perfection and wanting everything to be great, wanting that acceptance,
Hmm.
my family wanting me to be happy. So I was chasing uh, those thumbs up, right? Those those like I'm good with her, Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like I was chasing those moments.
The approval.
The approval. See, I was trying to find the word. Um, so um, so in those moments, like I wasn't myself in a sense. Like I was trying to be something that I wasn't to not only keep up with who she was at that time, but also I was acting out of character of wanting again acceptance, but also um, not me being able to accept that failure or accepting those rejections um, of them possibly not liking her. Like it was like a
Yeah.
forceful thing. Like I need you guys to like her. I need you guys to accept her. Like I need you guys to be like, okay, like I'm good with her being a part of the family. And within those moments, like I lost my way. I lost myself. Didn't recognize who I was in the mirror because I was acting out of character, saying certain things to my grandma or my mom out of the way in a disrespectful kind of way. Um, Again, trying to not only keep this person in my life, but also um, make her think like, okay, I like this energy, Kendrick, like from her. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, Even though things didn't work out between her and I, in hindsight, I'm grateful for those moments because um, now whenever the next one comes around, now I know how to maneuver. Now I know how to carry myself when someone that I love is meeting the people that I love.
Hmm.
So I would say that was the biggest risk, bringing someone that I'm trying to keep around, um, and meeting, my family, meeting people that I love. But in hindsight, like I'm grateful for that, for those moments, because now I know how to do things, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense.
Are you sleepy?
Yep. No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm tired, but I'm not sleepy. I
Oh,
was on the road driving this morning at about 6:30. So
6:30 a.m. or 6?
mhm, this morning, and I didn't get home until about 7:45 ish. So been a long day, but it was a good day.
It's a long day. God kept you going.
He did. As
Safe.
sleepy as I was driving home, but once I got home, I woke up. I was good. Just tired, but I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I was excited about the podcast, so that kind of rejuvenated me, brought some energy back into my heart. So
That's great. How did it go for you?
I've enjoyed it. I have really enjoyed it. This is a moment of being vulnerable for me.
It's good. What's like the number one thing that you learned?
From this experience.
Yeah,
From,
and
from the say again.
that, and for me,
That's a hard question.
is it?
It is. It's
Yeah.
hard to synapse everything into one specific thing. Um,
You can give bullets and points.
okay, let me go to my notes. I'm just joking. um, well, I guess I learned, or I can see that, of course, it's something that we all know, but just a reinforcement of never thinking that you've understood the entire book until a person lets you read all of their chapters, and understanding that people are always a continually written story. So I appreciate you allowing me in this conversation to read some other chapters of your life that I did not know. So that makes me learn you better and teaches me how to, as far as you're concerned, how to be a better friend to you. And why is he? Why are you laughing? I'm trying to be serious.
No, I was being funny. I was like, we're friends.
Wow,
This is really good.
you meant that from your soul, but it's okay. I'm just joking. Um, but yeah, um, I'm learning the different chapters that make up your story. So it makes me appreciate who you are.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
So
Um,
what is something you've learned about me?
oh man, let me go through my
Wow.
um no, I really enjoy this one. As far as a guest, you're up there. Um, as far as best.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled.
So I thoroughly enjoyed. Um, I mean, I knew about the ministry part of you. Um, you know, being big in the church and stuff like that. But I did not know your story about being sexually assaulted. Um, and that was big on you to speak on that. Because it, even though it was like it was a negative effect on you, but later down the road you learn to like just become a better person and learn how to not put those negative feelings or actions from that person to others that did nothing to you.
Yep.
Of course, you had your moments, but you learned and matured throughout that.
And healed.
And
Finally healed.
yeah, heal, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, that was like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, it's something that I one thing that I've committed for myself in life is that I will never ever allow anyone to make me feel ashamed about anything that I have experienced, survived, or overcome. Never. So now I don't mind sharing that testimony. I don't mind sharing that story because people can't use it against me. There's no power in it to use it against me. So, and I hope that it helps somebody else. And you'll be surprised. You would really be surprised how many men, and I'm talking about men that are husbands and fathers, have come to me and said, something happened to me, and I never could admit it. I was touched, I was molested, I was mishandled sexually when I was younger, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, and I never told anybody. That's why it's so important to, I guess maybe that's a good example of a reward from my own vulnerability is being able to see other people get healed.
All
Is
because you use your voice.
Yep.
It's amazing.
And did not allow myself to be ashamed.
Yeah.
But there's
Here's
so
a,
much.
here's a,
Go
what's
ahead.
that?
I was going to say, and there's so much more that I really can't even share here now because we don't even have the time. There's so much more.
We do not. That's what's called a part two.
Okay.
Um, absolutely. Here's another like unknown fact about me. Like, one of the biggest things on my dream list. I have a dream list, by the way, of things like I
Okay.
want to do. Like, I've
Awesome.
always wanted to do a TED talk.
Okay.
Um, and the premise of that, or like the message that I want to put out there, is it's more so for people like me, when someone very influential, someone special, passes away when you're real young. Like, how can you bounce back? Like, how can you figure out life without this person?
Mm, mm,
Especially a parent, right? Um, um, like, share my story within that and how I don't know if I've necessarily healed from it. Um, it's definitely something that I will never get over.
right.
Um, but how can you continue their legacy? Um, how can you continue their lessons or what they brought to the world, and now it's on your shoulders to carry? How can you do that without your mom, your dad, or your grandparent, or whoever shaped you to be who you are?
You are.
Um, now that's something that I want to do.
I think that would be something that a lot of people need to hear.
Yeah,
A lot of people need to hear how to honor someone without losing themselves.
yeah.
Yep.
It's to the point where like I purposely don't share certain stories with my dad so I can share it within those moments on the TED Talk, and I've held on strong, and I'm keeping that, in the safe. Good deal. So
You'll get it done. That's a dream. That's a dream that you'll achieve soon.
yeah, definitely. Before we get out of here, can you tell the people where they can follow you on social, if you're even on social media?
I am. I don't even know. I don't even know my socials by heart. Hold on. Facebook, Alton Thompson. Um, I have two Instagram pages. You can
What do you
follow
have to?
me. So what?
What do you have to?
Because okay, so what had happened was I had my original Instagram page that was connected to my Facebook page, and I forgot the password, and I could not get back into it. So I created another one, especially after I started recording music. So I was dedicating that Instagram page to my music primarily. But then I was able to get back into the old IG page, so now I still alternate between both. So you can follow me at what is my Alton T dot music on Instagram. Alton T dot music. Um, do I have Snapchat? I think I do. Alton underscore Thompson on Snapchat. I think that's all. Oh, I do have a TikTok. Um, at Alton Sings on TikTok. So that's how you can. And you
Yeah.
can also find out how to get my book that's just been released, Cavemen No More. Um, Available directly from me or on Amazon. You can also find out how to purchase any of the music that I have um, performed and released
Why haven't I got a book?
because I still have it and I haven't signed it yet.
Oh, okay.
Is that a
That'd
good
be
answer?
that'd be a great Christmas gift.
I got you, sir. I got you.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram, Kendrick30 underscore. TikTok, Kendrick McKnight 30. Um, obviously, the YouTube channel, The Life of Kendrick. And I'm on Facebook as well, like the old person that I am, Kendrick McKnight.
Gotcha. Oh, I do have a YouTube channel, Alton Thompson, on YouTube.
What's your content? What you do?
It has some of my music up there.
Really?
Yep. And you can also go and be able to view my CD release concert that I did last year. So I'm trying to work on doing some new music now. So hopefully I'll be able to produce a whole lot more music content. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
yep.
so I lied. My last question is who at the job did you tell this about? Tell this to?
Nobody.
Nobody. Okay.
Nobody. Nobody yet. So
Nobody yet.
yes. I wanted to wait until it was posted and then share it.
Well, I just posted the sixth episode literally yesterday. So I like to give my episodes like a couple days to like breathe and have time. So
Okay.
I will let you know when I post this.
Yes, sir. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right. I appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate you having me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Blessings to you.
Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, man. And to the next video. Yes, sir.